Hello, this is Robert Deltz. I'm a co-founder of NLP University, of the International Association for Generative Change, and for the Deltz Strategy Group. And all of these organizations, their purpose is to help people to manage change and to deal with challenges and uncertainty and find a way to get through and keep growing. And I'm speaking to you here from my home in California, where I'm currently under shelter, like many others, for the coronavirus, the COVID-19. And I was thinking about, well, what is it that could help us to deal with and address this situation? And of course, like everybody else, I'm washing my hands a lot. I'm keeping social distance, um, and doing all of the things, of course, to avoid connecting or contacting the virus. But there's also things that we can do to help boost our immune system, to make it, even if we were to, for almost unavoidable reasons these days, to come in contact with some form of this virus. What could we do? And for many years, I've worked in the area of mind-body health. I'm, of course, completely in support of all of the things that we do medically, but also like to integrate with that all the things that we can do to sort of take self-responsibility and bolster or boost our own immune response. And so I'm going to be posting some articles on my various websites about this, and one of them is about psychoneuroimmunology and using NLP to boost your immune response. I mean, so in addition to things like taking vitamin C, getting good exercise, etc., we know that there are things like stress that can, sort of impede or disrupt our immune response. So, what are some things that we can do to actually boost or bolster it? Now, one of the things that I developed many years ago is a process called the allergy technique or allergy process that has been shown by research studies to be able to help people really, to lessen their response to allergies. And it works through this notion of psychoneuroimmunology. Psycho means psychology, how we think, what we feel. Neuro is our nervous system, the nervous system that goes not only in our brain but through our whole body. And then, of course, immunology is about our immune system, which is what works to protect us from illness and things like a viral infection. And so this idea of an allergy technique is it's using our psychological processes as a way to sort of influence how our immune system responds. Now, I'm posting some information about that where it shows that, scientists have shown that you can actually even, sort of reinforce or program allergies in a guinea pig by putting something that makes them sick into their cage, putting a peppermint smell, for example. And when those two things get associated, pretty soon, if you just put the peppermint smell, the guinea pigs start to react as if something dangerous is happening. So we can use this process ourselves to say, well, how can we increase and protect ourselves? Now, I've been using these processes for many years, and for example, I very, very rarely see a doctor, not because I don't like doctors or I'm afraid of doctors, it's just that I haven't needed to because I tend to have a very strong immune response, and I travel around the world, I'm exposed constantly. But I wanted to share, a couple of things. My article suggests some things, but one of the things I just thought I might walk you through is some very simple process by which you can, in very few minutes, just do some things to help make sure that you are at an optimal, immune state. So, this is again posted on the website, the steps, and the first step is basically to do what we call a kind of go to a disassociated state. Now, what that means is you're going to kind of go into a self-witnessing observer state. So it usually involves that you kind of lean back and you're going to sort of make an image of yourself in front of yourself as if you were watching yourself in a movie. And you can even kind of float back behind yourself and sort of observe yourself, observing yourself, so that you can really get a good sense of what is the desired state that you want to have. So if you could imagine that you're watching this, either movie screen or a big television screen, and idea would be, what would you look like if you were in a sort of a vital and healthy state, a kind of an ideal healthy state, and kind of see the way you would look, the kind of vitality you would have. And you want to try to get as clear an image. We know that visualization has a really powerful influence on, of course, on our nervous system, and again, through that nervous system, also on things like our immune system. So one of the first things to do would be to see this, so our first step is kind of go to this observing state, then really picture yourself looking healthy and vital and full of energy in the way that you would like to. The third step is a very important part of what we use in NLP called anchoring. And anchoring is about making an association between something and something else. We have probably all heard the stories of Pavlov and his dogs, where he could ring the bell and the dogs would start to salivate even before they got food because they were anticipating this. So this shows that our nervous system can really activate parts of our what's called our autonomic system, which includes our immune reactions. So anchoring is about making an association. And in NLP, we sometimes use a physical association. You can use a gesture, you can use an object, it's something either that you can hold in your hand, or something that you can look at, or that you can visualize, or even something you can say to yourself. Words themselves can become an anchor. And so what we want to do at this stage is we're going to anchor some reference experiences for a strong immune system. And when we remember these things, when we have access to these reference experiences, like this example I was giving of the scientist programming the allergy in the guinea pig, it reminds us of immune responses. Now, we don't want to make an allergic response, so the kind of things we're going to be using to remember and put ourselves into are going to be things. One would be, think of a time when you had some kind of an illness. It could be as simple as a cold and you got through the cold quickly. Could be a time that you recovered something from something that was a major thing, where you really felt that you were participating in that your body and your immune system was strong and functioning well. So this kind of a memory of resilience. Another reference experience could be some time when you actually avoided something that you could see other people were getting it around you, but you knew you weren't going to get it, and you didn't. So again, the one is about resilience, the other is about sort of avoiding it. Obviously, other times could just be reference experiences for when you just felt really vital and healthy and, at your best. Others that you might want to think about or consider, one would be, there might be things that bother other people that are even toxic to other people that are not toxic to you, because somehow, you have developed this strong sense. There's examples, I'm from here in California, in the early days where the gold miners would drink water that had strychnine in it that would poison other people, even kill other people, but because they were able to drink it and develop this immune response, they were able to stay healthy, even though they were drinking something that would make other people sick. So the next step is that as you get each of these experiences, you're going to want to put yourself into the experience and relive it. You want to see what you saw, hear what you heard, and especially feel what you felt in your body, and really pay attention to what that's like in the body, all the different sensations that let you know that you're healthy and that your immune system is functioning well. So you want to take a little time with that. And then we're going to use a process that what we call in NLP a very powerful process that's known as anchoring. And an anchor is a way of quickly remembering and getting back to something in a very rich, full way. Most of us probably know about the work of Pavlov and his bell, where he rang the bell, and when he associated that with food, the dogs would already start to salivate even when there was no food. And anchoring works a lot like that, like the example I was giving of the scientist programming the allergies in guinea pigs. So we associate things with states of our body. Now, an anchor can be many different things. It could be a gesture, like your thumbs up. It could be touching part of your body. It could also be something visual, looking at something, remembering something, imagining something like a flower blossoming. When my mother was healing herself from advanced breast cancer, she would visualize her immune system as a whole field of sheep, and these many, many sheep would go into this field and kind of graze the grass and take away the weeds, which would be like cancer. So visualization can be a very powerful form of anchoring when we associate it to our experiences of wellness. It could also be a word. You could say something to yourself. So the process here would be you want to take these reference experiences, really put yourself in them, relive them. As I said, see what you saw, hear what you heard, especially feel what you felt, and then you associate that with your anchor. If the anchor was a touch, say, to your finger, you would do that. If it was a touch to your ear, you would do that. If it was a touch to your body, you do that. And these are all reminders to us of these positive experiences. Could also be visualizing something or saying something, even hearing music. The most important thing is that when you're fully in that experience, you remember or you use that anchor to create a strong association. And the more that you can repeat that and just try that a number of times, the more automatic it becomes. So you don't have to even think of the reference experience. You just make your anchor, and you're reactivating that response, that healthy immune response. So you want to just try that several times, and as you put yourself there and really make that association, and then the final step of this process is to go back to that movie you were making of yourself being healthy and well. And now you're going to actually take your anchor and put yourself into the movie like you're the actor. You are living what you've seen, and you're feeling it. Again, you're seeing it, you're hearing it, you're feeling it. So you're making a very rich experience of that. And this is how any effective performer, any athlete, any actor, any dance person, musicians, this is how you mentally prepare. You're mentally rehearsing and programming yourself for success. And I think this is one of the things that we can do for ourselves as part of our own self-responsibility in these challenging times, is to take the best care of ourselves, be the best version of ourselves. So I hope this process helps you with that. And I'm going to be posting some other ideas around what we call the inner game and being with some of the difficult feelings that can come up. But I hope this is something that you can use. It can be done very quickly in just a few minutes, and then you just repeat it any time that you're going to be, let's say if you need to go out for something or you start becoming concerned that maybe you've been exposed. You can just do this process, and it's going to really, activate the strongest possible, inner resources that you have. So I wish you a lot of safety and health in these very challenging times.